Hello my friends, my name's Gene Arnold, and thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Regular Guy Mountain Biking. So along with running the Regular Guy Mountain Biking YouTube channel, I also keep up an Amazon affiliate website. Okay, and it's on Amazon, and on that site I host reviews, and by way of those reviews I'm able to kind of generate a little bit of side income to help pay the bills for Regular Guy Mountain Biking. Now before I go too much further into this video, on that website, my buddy Ito helps me put up some of those videos, so I want to give Ito a big shout out and thank you for all your help, and I want to do something nice in return to him. Ito just started up a new YouTube channel. It's called ET4EVS. Okay, so if you're interested in electronic vehicles and want to learn more about them, please subscribe to my buddy Ito's channel. I'll have links all over the place above my head in the description and probably at the end of this video for you to check out his website. So again, Ito, thank you so much for all your help. So what does this Amazon website thing have to do with anything that we're talking about today? Simple. Periodically what I do is I run the numbers from what people purchase through that site and how the videos are used to get a better idea of what people are interested in. And this time I ran the numbers and I found out that you people simply love multi-tools. I mean, like, it's not even like the numbers are crazy. You people just, you love multi-tools. So what I figured I'd do today in this video is go through the different multi-tools that I have, like at different categories, and just give you an idea of what's out there, what I happen to have, and just talk about multi-tools, because apparently you seem to like them an awful lot. How are we going to cover multi-tools in this video? Well, I'm going to break it down, like I said, into different categories. One category we're going to talk about will be multi-tools that actually fit on your bike. Then we'll also go and we will talk about more specialty type multi-tools. We will then finally talk about some other kind of just standard multi-tools that I just think are kind of cool to talk about. So we'll go for it. And then finally, we'll just talk about just maybe another multi-tool, but not really a bike multi-tool, but maybe something you like. So I'm going to bring it up anyway. So those are the categories. Let's get started. The first one we'll talk about is the type of multi-tool that you put on the bike. So the idea around this multi-tool is to have the tool on your bike, not in your pack. It's pretty convenient to have it on your bike. The two I have are the Leatherman multi-tool that fits inside of the water bottle cage and the wolf tooth multi-tool that fit inside of the handlebars. We'll take a look at them both. This one is a water bottle cage, but has a little compartment on the bottom that pops out, and out comes then a standard multi-tool. I'm not going to get into all the features of every one of these multi-tools because the video will go on forever and you'll only watch about another 30 seconds of it and give me a thumbs down. So let's just talk about the concept. Okay, this is the design concept. It's a nice multi-tool. It's got all the standard features. It's very small, simple, has everything you'd probably want on it, but, you know, nice. But the idea of this one is that it would fit inside of this water bottle cage. And then this cage also has a small compartment behind it where you can fit the CO2 cartridge little unit that goes on top, right? So you can kind of fill up the tires with CO2. So this is a pretty cool idea, and I like it a lot. The only problem that I have, and I know you guys are going to think I'm a jerk when I say this, but the only problem I have with that tool is that, and these tools in general, is that they're very bike specific. I happen to have a lot of bikes. I know, woe is Gene. This is where you can make fun of me if you'd like. So having a tool on the bike doesn't really work all that well for me, because then I basically have to have a lot of these tools on all my bikes to do this idea. But for some folks, it's great to just have this on the bike. It's easy to get to real quick. It works quite well. Another one that falls into this category will be the wolf tooth bar end ones. The way this works is that these little devices, they slide into the openings of your handlebar ends. So this part would be the bar end cap. And then inside of these little rubber jobbers are two tools. This one has all the different ratchets, okay? And you would pop one out and stick it on to the end, and you can use it as a multi-tool. All right, works pretty cool. And then the other side has this is, you know, nice, the chain breaker, and then it has the the plug deal, right, to plug the holes. Okay, nice multi-tool. This category of multi-tool fits on your bike. Now, there's lots of other ones. There's some that go into the head tube, right, the steer tube of your fork. There's some I've seen that actually go into the bottom bracket hole. These are pretty cool, and I'd love to know what ones you have. Some of them are actually pretty darn useful. And again, the concept is having the multi-tool right on your bike and not having it in your bag. Pretty cool concept, and I'd love to know from you which ones you're using in the comments below. So now let's talk about some more specialty type tools. Okay, so one of the specialty type tools is this one that I happen to get with my Bikes Online bikes. Okay, and it's a torque wrench. You know, it's a little plastic type torque wrench, but it has all the torque bits on here. Now, this is basically a multi-tool. It's not bad in the sense that it has the standard bits that you would want, and it has the torque on the end. And certainly something you could throw in your bag. But it's more of a specialty type tool. Not quite as common, but for the folks that have carbon fiber bikes, this might be something they would want to have, simply because carbon fiber bikes, you really have to kind of lock into the torque settings. You don't want to mess around with that because you could crack the frame. So I know you might be looking at this and saying, Gene, I'm not going to put a torque wrench in my bike bag. But you might if you have an expensive carbon fiber frame and you don't want to mess it up. Now, along the line of this specialty idea is going to be this jobber. Now, this thing is like the MacGyver of multi-tools. They're big, they're heavy, but they're a little more complete. This one has, yes, the standard chain breaker in there. It's got the tire lever, but it even has the CO2 cartridge adapter right here. You'd put the CO2 cartridge in the back, and then you'd screw this on to the Presta or Schrader valves. Now, again, pretty neat. It's got tons of features, but this sucker is heavy, man. I mean, like literally when you put it in your bag, you can feel when you put it in the bag. So you kind of have to weigh out, do you want something this heavy with all these features or not, right? I mean, it's kind of cool to have everything with you. And if you do some longer rides, it might be worthwhile considering it. But kind of heavy, but really cool in the sense that it's got all these different features on it, just all in one tool. So now, before we get to the next category of tools, I'm going to take this opportunity to plug the Regular Guy Mountain Biking channel and say that we have jerseys to sell. Okay, so if you're interested in a Regular Guy Mountain Biking jersey, I'll have a form that you can fill out in the description of this video. And we also have Regular Guy Mountain Biking beanies, which came out pretty freaking cool. All right, I'm actually pretty stoked about these. So again, you can pick up one of these from the description in the form. So yay, Regular Guy Mountain Biking. Please help support the channel. I don't like to beg for money or anything like that, but if you do buy the merch, it does help support the channel, and you get some cool merch in return. So got some cool jerseys and got the cool beanie. All right, so now we're back after the shameless plug. Let's talk about some more multi-tools. The other type of multi-tools that we have are simply just the kind of like the freebies. Okay, and I got a bunch of these over here. Here's a Bikes Online one over here that has a bunch of stuff in it over here. Okay, I got this one. This is from Jorba. Whenever I go and fill out my my Jorba subscription and renew that, I get another multi-tool. So thank you, Jorba. Now I've got a lot of these, and again, another one of these. Why do I bring these up? I only bring these up because it's kind of cool to get them, but sometimes they're on a little bit of the low end. So it's kind of cool to get these freebies. Maybe you could take them and throw them in your car or extra bag. So it's not bad to have them, but you have to decide if you really want to rely on them, because they kind of strip pretty easy because the metal's not always the highest grade. Now I'm going to talk about probably, I don't know why, but one of the most popular multi-tools that I've seen on my channel and on the store and whatnot. It is this Crank Brothers multi-tool. It's the M19. I, again, don't quite understand. I mean, it's a good quality tool, so I don't want to say I don't understand why it's so popular because it's not a good tool. It's a good tool, but I wouldn't say that it's from the hand of the tool god or anything like that. But you guys have been, again, crystal. I can look at the stats. Again, it's not like I'm just trying to guess here. I look at the numbers. Even my review of this multi-tool has gotten a lot of views. You folks love this Crank Brothers M19. So if you are looking for a multi-tool, apparently everyone seems to like this one. My guess is it's probably because of the fact that it is pretty slender. Okay, doesn't really weigh that much. Not super light, but doesn't weigh that much. But it is built like a tank. It's a solid piece of kit, and the actual tools themselves are built out of higher grade metal. Crank Brothers makes good quality products. So I just bring this one up because you seem to like it. So I want to let other people know that it's popular and maybe you should look into this multi-tool. Now, for me, I also just got this one in. This one's pretty sweet. This one's by a company called Pro Bike Tool. And this little guy comes in a little bag. And it is slick. It's like the sexy rich guy multi-tool. All right. I mean, it's got all the little pieces. It's all shiny chrome looking. All right. Now, I could easily see a roadie. Don't want to get political. All right. I could easily see a roadie keeping this in you know, right back with the banana. But this thing is a really nice looking multi-tool. What I like about it is I just got this saddle pack, right? The hip pack from Pacific Northwest. I got to do a review on that. It's a nice hip pack. And this little guy fits beautifully in the side pocket. So you have your multi-tool. It's got most of the things you would want, and it doesn't weigh much, and it is pretty slick. So you can get some pretty fancy multi-tools as well. And I'll have links to all these in the description below. So like I said, I'm not getting into all the detail. I mean, yes, it has a number 5. It's got a number 4. I mean, I'm going to bore the hell out of you if I go through every one of these features. I want to show you the tools. And we will kind of wrap things up a bit with another type of tool that I keep in my bag. And this is a Leatherman, okay? Because there's something common across all these tools. They don't have things like knives or scissors. You know, most of them don't have can openers, the camping type utilities. And I got to be honest, a Leatherman with a set of pliers like that, this comes in really handy if you have to pull a cable through a housing or maybe get something that's stuck in your spoke out. You don't get this on any of the other tools. I haven't seen it anyway. And if you did, I mean, not for nothing, but how much bigger do you want this freaking tool? This is heavy as it is. So I do like to keep a multi-tool like this, but this is a Leatherman. This is a Leatherman Juice. I've had this for years. A Leatherman Juice CS4. Anyway, it doesn't make a difference. It's a Leatherman. So I like to have one of these. I keep it in the pack with me, and it comes in pretty handy. So now, before I wrap things up, I want to make sure I bring up a very important point, especially for some of the new riders out there that are getting their bikes and getting their kit and their tools and stuff like that. I want to make sure you understand that, you know, all these multi-tools, right? These are tools that you normally would keep, well, some on your bike, right? You can keep these on your bike, or you keep in your bike bag. But they're generally not tools you would use to work on your bike all the time, right? If you're doing bike maintenance, you kind of want to have a set of tools set aside for that. And I'm not saying you have to go and buy a bike shop and spend thousands of dollars. But the reason why I say that is because most of the time, you can't replace any of the pieces in these multi-tools, okay? You'll find that there are going to be some common pieces, common tools that you're going to use all the time. The 4, the 5, the 3. You're going to be using those keys all the time. You don't want to wear them out on these because, well, then how are you going to? So you don't want to do that. So you want these to always be working when you're out on the trails, because when you really need them, you need them to work. Get yourself a set of tools to work on your bike at home and leave these alone. Leave these out there for the trails. All right, my friends, that's going to do it. That is my video on multi-tools. I got a lot of them, and they're awesome. And you folks seem to love these things. So hopefully this was kind of cool to talk about the different ones that I have. Like I said, I'll have links to all these, or as many as I can, in the description. I'll have a link to that Amazon store if you want to check it out. And I'd love to know what tools you folks love to use. I also would really like to know about the ones that you put on your bike. I know I have a bunch of friends that are really trying to cut down the weight that is in their bags, and they want to put more on their bikes. So which ones have you used that you found very successful? And of course, right, I got the beanies, I got the jerseys. If you'd like to support the channel, I would love it, okay? It would mean a lot to me. Nothing's cooler than riding down the trail and seeing someone with a regular guy mountain biking jersey on. Kind of makes me feel kind of cool. All right, so I'll have a link to the form down below. As always, folks, you're all awesome. Thank you so much for your support and watching these videos. Gene from Regular Guy Mountain Biking. Keep the party on the pedals, my friends, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.